Hello lovely people, my name is James. Welcome to Self-Made Finance, where we teach you to be your own finance manager. In a layman's language, we give you the basic financial management skills that you need to take hold of your finances. Today we're talking about budgeting. What is budgeting? How do you go about it? Who is it for? When we talk about budgeting, a lot of things come to mind. People have varied opinions about it. Some think that it is for the government, others think it's for companies. Some believe that it is too restrictive. It puts you in a box and it doesn't give you the freedom to use your money the way you want to use it. Some say that, well, we don't have money, we don't earn much, so why do we have to waste our time doing that? Ironically, these opinions are the very reasons why we need to budget as individuals and households. The fact that the government is doing it means that we need to do it also. The fact that companies are doing means that there is something good there that we can copy from. The fact that it restricted means that we need to do it because we need something to regulate our life as to how we use our money. The fact that we don't earn much, we don't have money is the very reason why we need to budget, because we need to know exactly where the little we earn goes to. So irrespective of the opinion you hold about budgeting, it is the very reason why you need to budget. Okay, so let's dive into it proper. But before we do that, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell down there so that anytime you drop a video, you can have it. So now, what is budgeting? Budgeting is basically matching your income against your expenditure to be sure that your income can fund your expenditure. Let me put it another way. You're trying to match your income against your expenditure to be sure that there's a balance. All right, so I'm going to take you through 5 steps that you can use to budget. So irrespective of what you've learned somewhere, a lot of strategies are there, but irrespective of what you've learned, you need these 5 steps to be able to budget well. So now, the first thing that you need to do when you're budgeting is to know your income. How much you earn. You need to know that so that you can know how you can allocate that income. If you don't know how much you earn, it is very difficult for you to allocate that to your expenses. And the probability is that you are going to overspend. So the first thing that you need to do when you're budgeting is to know your income. If you happen to be a salary worker, that's very easy for you because you know how much you're earning, and then there's no need to go through any calculation to know that. But if you happen to be somebody that runs your own business, you have a small business, a micro business, it becomes a bit tricky because people end up spending their capital as their income. So I'm going to have a new video on that. So that's why you need to watch, always be here so that you can have that when we drop that. But for the sake of this video, I want to believe that you know how to know that. So what I'm saying is that, first of all, know your income. Secondly, list all your expenditure lines. And what I mean is that you need to list all the items that you're going to be spending on. Talking about food, clothing, shelter, savings, retirement, emergencies. So list all the things that you're going to spend on. And you can let history guide you on this one because you know over the period the things that you've been spending on. So list everything there. The third thing that you need to do is to allocate funds to that items that you've listed. How much are you going to spend on food? How much are you going to spend on clothing, on shelter, on fuel or transportation? How much are you going to put into your savings? How much are you going to put into your emergency funds? How much are you going to put into your retirement funds? Allocate funds to this and find the total. So once you get a total, then you link your income to your expenses. You subtract your expenses from your income and see what happens. When you do that, one of 3 things is going to happen. Either you have a balance, you have a deficit, or a surplus. So based on what happens, then you make adjustment to that. So the first thing that can happen is that you're going to have a balanced budget. A balanced budget is where your expenditure is the same as your income. In that case, if you were very careful to list every item there, it is very perfect. Once you listed everything and you didn't leave anything out, you are perfect. But mind you, if you leave an item out, you're going to be in trouble because the item will definitely crop up one day and you didn't have funds to take care of that. So if you leave something out, you're going to have troubles. But then if everything is listed, a balanced budget is a perfect idea. After matching them, the second thing that can happen is that you can have a deficit budget. A deficit budget is a situation whereby your expenditure is more than your income or your income is less than your expenditure. In that situation, you're definitely going to be in trouble if you stick to that. So you need to go back and make adjustments. You go back to the list that you made, your food, your rent, your clothing, savings and all that. Look at the items that are actually not needs that you can live with. So you look at the wants and you make adjustment to them. What are the things that you can take out? What are the things that you can bring down and ensure that there's a balance? If you don't do this and you stick to that, you're going to be in trouble. Thirdly, you can have a surplus budget where your income is more than your expenditure. And hallelujah to that. That is what we are looking for. That means that you have a lot more to put into your savings account. Remember that you've already catered for savings, but once you have surplus, you have more to put into your savings account, and so you are good to go. So these are the very simple steps that you can follow to have a very good budget. So congratulations, you know how to budget. But the final thing that I want to talk about is that there's one thing being motivated and another thing staying motivated. The fact that you know how to budget doesn't mean that everything is okay. The next thing you need to do is to stick to the budget. If you don't stick to the budget, it doesn't make sense you going through all these processes. So try hard to stick to the budget. You know, things are going to crop up, temptations are going to come up for you to abandon that budget. But stick to it, and I believe you're going to be fine. Thank you for watching this episode of Self-Made Finance. Next time, I'll bring you another wonderful episode. Keep watching. God bless you.